are, it's my pleasure to welcome you to yet another edition of your favorite family counseling program, Happy Home Half Hour. My name is Femi Fafiyebi. As we always say on this program, we believe that you have a lot to gain, a lot to benefit from watching this program because Nigeria is presently passing through a lot of national issues, very technically difficult for this nation to pass through, and I know that this program is here to try to address these issues through the family counseling that we give on this program. This is just to make sure that the nation is at peace, because in a peaceful family will eventually translate to a peaceful nation. And then we always say also that particularly for young people out there, we need to create an impression in their minds that marriage is actually for them and not something to run away from just because of what they imagine their families are going through, because these are the future of Nigeria. Again, I would like to remind you that when we talk about counseling on this program, it's something that has a national outlook. It cuts across religious, ethnic, or educational backgrounds. So wherever you are watching this program right now, it's just designed for you to make sure that you experience happiness and peace in your home. Once again, I welcome you to Happy Home Half Hour. Let's take this break. We'll be back very shortly. Yes, you're welcome back. The program is Happy Home Half Hour. Just in case you're just tuning in, we are looking at this topic today, which says disagreements in marriages. And I know you want to hear all about it. My guests are seated. I have the pleasure again of introducing this wonderful couple in whose hands, destiny has placed this very challenging and very important duty of counseling various families across the nation, and whose ministry actually has benefited hundreds of thousands of people. And I believe you are next in line. So it's my pleasure to welcome Lawrence Kaude Ayodele to my immediate left in the studio. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. And then, of course, to my far left in the studio, I have Eunice Oluwaseun Ayodele. Madam, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I told you we are looking at a very important topic, disagreements in marriage. And I want to presume or assume that you yourself, particularly if you're a family person, must have had one or two disagreements with your spouse, since you got married. And you may want to, benefit from one or two things that we're going to be talking about in this particular issue. First of all, I would like to start by asking, Mommy, is there any marriage that is free of disagreements? That is talking about a couple, a husband and a wife. Do you have any family like that?
When we talk of marriage, it's a relationship that involves two different identities. And when they come together, there is a lot to do to really make the marriage work. And as the word says, we disagree to agree. Definitely, it is not possible for the two of them to relate together perfectly without having issues to trash out, without having disagreements on issues that bothers on their family. But as they go along, the issues that will cause disagreement will always be coming, and as they are settling it, they move ahead. Therefore, it is not a possible thing to have a relationship where we not have disagreements, because nobody wants to be a yes man or a yes woman in any relationship. Therefore, when you hear your opinion, your idea, there is reason for the two of you to disagree, and then you settle, then you move on amicably.
Okay. Now let me go to you, sir. Do disagreements signify that a marriage is unhealthy?
Not really. In the sense that when we are talking of marriage, we are talking of two people coming together. And their coming together involves a lot of things. Number one, they discuss together. Number two, there must be close intimacy between them. That is, close interaction, daily interaction, regular interaction, communications, as many things they be doing together. They even plan together on issues concerning the marriage, concerning their future, concerning the children. So, in the course of doing all these things, they cannot see things the same way. Husband may see from angle A, wife from angle B. That is the disagreement already. So, when they now settle down to look at things and resolve the matter, then they will be able to see together, that is, as you have heard, they will disagree to agree. So in a nutshell, when we see a marriage, we are somebody so proud that in my marriage, we do not disagree. It's not a marriage because it means that they are not doing what they're supposed to do as couples. They are not interacting. They are not intimate. They are not planning for the future. And that means that even that marriage is very, very sick. Therefore, it's my own opinion, based on my experience so far as a marriage counselor, that when there is disagreement in marriage, it means that marriage is healthy, the husband is healthy, the wife is healthy, then that marriage has a better future. Thank you.
Wow, I'm sure you heard that, viewer. The fact that you're having disagreements or quarrels in your marriage does not mean that your marriage is unhealthy. In fact, our daddy said having disagreements in your marriage is a sign that your marriage is healthy, you're doing the right thing. So don't bother about it. Now, I'll go over to mommy now. What are the major causes of disagreements in marriage, ma'am?
Causes of disagreement are numerous, from issues as minute as can't you close that door, to issues on finance, to issues on training of children, to issues on family, extended family. There are a lot of issues that can cause disagreement. If in a relationship, a woman just enters into a room and the husband just says, okay, you don't know how to close doors. These have been your behavior. Issues can rise from there and there will be disagreements. Hot one. And if maturity is not being exercised, it can can break the whole system down. It's a common phenomenon. And there are a lot of things in day-to-day activities. There are issues that can cause disagreement. But what really matters is how they tackle these disagreements. Yes.
Okay, man. Now, Daddy, I'm coming to you. How can a husband and wife handle disagreements without that disagreement leading to a break in that marriage?
Well, they can handle disagreement without leading to break down or break up of marriage if they can really settle down and understand that disagreement is meant for them to understand themselves better. So in a nutshell, when disagreement comes, they should see it as a way to formally agree together, to plan together, to move together. So in that situation, they should not see it as something that my wife is overriding me, is playing on me, or my husband is playing on me. Now, the first thing is, number one, they must see it as a way to plan together and move forward. In that case, what should they do? They must plan how to resolve that segment as it happens. They should not gloss over it. They should not begin to interpret it in another form. There should be no suspicion from anybody. So one, they see it as a problem to be resolved, to move forward. They should come on a roundtable meeting, communicate together, look at what called disagreement. How can they concede? Husband concede, wife concede, so that they can meet at a mutually agreed ground. With that, they can resolve that disagreement easily without breaking the marriage. But when there is a suspicion, when there is maybe hard-hearted ground that I can't see my ground, when somebody thinks that somebody is cheating or overriding him, then it will spell a lot of doom to the marriage. Therefore, it's better to resolve disagreement as it arises in love, with understanding, with the hope that it will make them to agree together to move forward in the family.
Okay, very good, sir. Thank you very much. Dear viewer, we are still on Happy Home Half Hour. And in case you're just joining us, I can assure you this is the best thing you can do for yourself today. Stay on this channel until we come to the end of this program. And right now we'll be taking a break. And when we come back, I'll take a couple of other questions up with our guests in the studio. And then we'll start looking at how to round up. But I can tell you, Happy Home Half Hour is the program to be. Welcome back to Happy Home Half Hour. I want you to know that this program has an international angle to it, simply because marriage is an international institution. It is something ordained by the Creator himself, and therefore it cuts across all kinds of divides. That means you have, something to do with this very program. And as we continue, I would like again to ask our mommy first time, what are the effects of disagreement in a marriage?
Effects of disagreement in marriage is great if the disagreement is not tackled at the right time. If it continues, it leads to hatred, disorderliness, lack of trust. It leads to a lot of negative actions in the family. Even this can affect the children, visitors to the home, those that are living with the family, and it can even affect their works. So there are a lot of things that once there is disagreement, the unity is out of the way. The husband will decide to go his way, the wife will decide to go her way. And once this happens, the children in the family have problem, the communication line is broken. We definitely break down, and once it's going on like that, it can even lead to divorce. And I believe when we are talking of disagreement, it goes beyond I don't want you or you don't want me. It starts as a little drop of water on a table. Then it can even be as large as ocean. The effects are so devastating than we can imagine.
Now, sir, do you think a husband and wife can outgrow disagreements?
That's a big question. When we are talking of outgrowing disagreement as husband and wife, I can say there is no time. Once they are still living, and the two of them are still normal human beings, and they still have their own individual tastes, and they are still communicating, they are still interacting, they are still planning ahead, even if they are gray-haired, like maybe one is about 80, another is 75, 78. Once they are still talking, and they still have issues to discuss in the family concerning the children, concerning the grandchildren, concerning great-grandchildren, concerning even when one of them may go, what will happen to the other party? They are bound to have disagreement one way or the other. So there is no age, there is no time that husband and wife can outgrow disagreement. It's bound to happen till death does them part.
It's a lifetime thing.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ma, I'm coming back to you. What is the best time to resolve disagreements?
Once there is disagreement in the family between husband and wife precisely, the best time to resolve this disagreement, I can say, when the two of them have time. In the sense that if you say in the morning, you don't know the type of work the family will be involved in. If you say in the afternoon, maybe they are far apart. If we say in the night, maybe one is in the air and the other on the sea. The appropriate time is once they discover that there is disagreement, they should look for convenient time to settle it. Most of the time, women are good in this area. They know how to open up issues that is bothering their heart. They can go to any length to make arrangements as to make the situation conducive for the husband. But if the two of them do not have time and they are always rushing out, rushing in, definitely the issue of disagreement will be piling, and this can cause a lot of problem. But most of the time, I can say the best time is in the night, when everybody is now, they've settled everything, they've eaten, they've settled the children, their religion, nobody is disturbing them, they are in bed. Now they can even wake themselves up in the night. But when I say in the night, what of somebody that is going to work around 3 p.m. or at 3 a.m. in the morning? How will you wake that person and the person will agree? So it now depends on individual family. You know, the time you have ample time to really communicate and settle your issues, and let it just be a conducive atmosphere where the two of you are ready to listen and to open up your mind, and this will solve the.
Sir, if a husband and wife are unable to resolve a certain disagreement, between them, what do you think they should do?
Well, since marriage, as decided by God, is for life, and there's nothing to separate husband and wife, even disagreement, even on the most critical issue. That is to say that when there is disagreement and they try, the two of them tried and they couldn't resolve it, what should they do? They should now humble themselves to go to marriage counselor that can help them, look at it from another angle and see the way he can use his experience to handle the matter. I can tell you one experience we have years ago. We have a couple. The husband has told the wife that never you take our issue to anybody. And the marriage is almost collapsing. The wife has to invite us into the matter. And when we got in, at the end of the day, the husband didn't like it at the beginning, but that day we used almost 3 to 4 hours. But at the end of the day, the two of them came out stronger in love. Until today, the husband and wife are still together because they came at the right time when the family is about to break down. So I can say that it's not an aberration that you take your case to a counselor. It's just like somebody who is very sick. He says, I don't want to see a doctor because see me, my body, fat like this. If I go and see doctor may say that, look at this man that is sick. Then he will die of that sickness. Therefore, it is not too bad for husband and wife to take their case to an experienced counselors that can help them to trust the case and unite them together so that they can come back vibrantly in love.
Yes, I'm sure you've had a lot that will be of benefit to you in this particular edition of Happy Home Half Hour. We'll be looking at the issue of disagreements in marriages, and I do hope that from all that you had today, you'll be able to make use of those tips to resolve issues that are a bit thorny in your own relationship. But just before we go, there is this question that one of our viewers sent in, and it concerns the issue of a wife returning late from work habitually, and the husband is actually has been trying to resolve the issue by talking to her, but she refuses to listen. And this is the question this particular gentleman is asking. This is Desmond Iyayi. Mommy, he says, and let me read, practically. My wife returns late habitually, and I've corrected her several times, but she refuses to change. What should I do?
As the man of the house, I believe once your wife is coming late from work perpetually, there's more to it than meet the eyes. First step you need to take is dialogue. Ask her what are the reasons. And as the man, the moment the wife is explaining, I believe you should be able to know what is the main problem. If it is traffic, how will you know? If it is the job in the office, how will you know? Or is he a self-employed wife? There are a lot of things that you need to work on as a man. If you are not satisfied with that condition, you can set up your wife. Let her have a job that will give her the time to come in time to take care of the family, yourself and the children, and the welfare of the whole family. But if you are still managing, then you can't have your cake and eat it. You still have to deny yourself of some things. And the best way to handle is to have trust in your wife. If you do not sense any sign of infidelity, I believe you can still bear for a little time. I hope the wife is not coming midnight. If that is not the case, you can still bear. But if it has turned to coming in the midnight, then you have to work on how to set up your wife to relieve her of even the pain of going very early and coming very late.
Okay, dear viewer, I'm sure Desmond Iyayi, who sent that text from Ibadan, must have been able to pick something from that. And at this point in time, we have to start saying our goodbyes on this program. I want to say a very big thank you to our guests, Lawrence Kaudi Ayodele and Eunice Oluwaseun Ayodele. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma, for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, and viewer, I also thank you very much for being there, because without you, we can't be here. But before I now say my final bye-bye, let me remind you that we desire that this program should expand time-wise. We have already told you earlier on that it's a program that cuts across, nationalities, it cuts across educational or religious backgrounds or ethnic, and then we all have to contribute to make sure that our nation is built up the right way to be a peaceful nation. And that peace that we are trying to build nationally starts from your home, and so you have a role to play in giving support to this program. We want to make sure that this program goes on to perhaps about 1 hour, or maybe we can talk 45 minutes, but we want to go away from 30 minutes so that we can serve you better. And so if you want to make any contact with us as far as sponsorship is concerned, just make sure you call 0033 070 986. Another channel you can use to reach us is this email, that is gloriousmarriage@yahoo.com, gloriousmarriage@yahoo.com, and then we'll be ready to talk to you. Again, we'd like to thank you for being part of Happy Home Half Hour today. And as I leave you, again, I leave you with that maxim which says, happy homes make a peaceful and stable nation. Let's contribute our quota to making Nigeria a happy and stable nation. Till next week, same time, God willing, my name is Femi Fafiyebi. Bye-bye.